Welcome back to Pres Co. I'm the BiznessPres, and today we got the daily trend. Just spent the day at the big boing. It was a big one. I'm tired. Full energy. It was great. Now, come back to charts. And as I was going, I could see that we had quite the breakout. Quick look at Bitcoin. Zooming out, zooming back in. It's sitting quite high. It hit $80,000 Australian, and we haven't had that for a long time. A few months, but it seems like a long time. And it seems like we're starting to top out here. We might have a bit of a pullback back to this green area. Then again, we might not. We could carry this uptrend and burst even more. We just have to see what happens. But the altcoin of the day is Polkadot. And I brought this out in the other video. I use this example for when the moving averages cross over. And when we've got the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200 moving average all in bullish formation, so they're all pointing up, then that's really bullish price action. And we could see that back here. We're in a range for a long time. We broke out a little bit, and then we come back to test support, and then we broke out, come back to test support. And what that did was open up the moving averages. And then the only one we needed was the 21. The second we broke that, we come back down to the 50. And we made a bit of a push higher, and then we kind of failed to get higher from there, and then we got smashed, and none of them held, and we come to the 100, and then we bounced on the 100, and then when the 100 broke, what did we find? The 200. And that didn't support us in terms of turning us back around, but that's where price slowed down, and then we bared out. Now, first thing we swapped was the 21, and then the 50, and we had a cross, and now we swapped the 200, and everything's come up to the 200 and pushing it upwards. So everything's getting back in formation. And we're just waiting on the 100 here to cross the 200, and then we'll be sweet. Usually got these in different colors, but we don't really follow the 100. We don't really follow the 200. I like to follow the 50 and the 100, because that tells you everything you need. As soon as that went sideways and broke down, that was a long way between your next signal, you know what I mean? You could have already been out buying back 30-40% cheaper, you know what I mean? And that was before all the continuation. But look, we broke the sideways range, we're back above it, and we made a bit of a pullback here, and then now we're really, really breaking out. We've got the cross up on the MACD. So we're bullish, we're looking for pullbacks. We got this consolidation back to the 50. We double bottomed here. We double bottomed here on the 200 in terms of price action. We broke the neckline. Okay, we broke the neckline, retested it here, come up higher, retested it, and now we're shooting off. We're making higher highs and higher lows. We're in an uptrend. So would I go buying this now at resistance? Of course not. I'll be waiting for a pullback. Where are we going to get the pullback to? Let's bring out a fib. Okay. Whoop, all the numbers are still up. So the 618's at 45 bucks. Let's mark that off, 45 bucks. That's from the low to the high, but we come up, we pull back to here. Whoop, that didn't quite go as high. And then, where's the 618 here? Alright, so we've got two key levels. Whoops, crossed out the wrong one. 618 is the previous top. Easy. So we've got two key levels that we can pull back to. Does this one really sit? Yeah, I suppose right there. Okay, that was the top of the W. Okay, we broke it and we retested it. So if anywhere, it'll come there. The 50's there, the 21's there. Let's get rid of this. And then this one is valid because it's the highest point of the previous top. So if you're not in Polkadot yet and you want to make a quick buck, I'll wait for it to pull back, find the support line, and continue up in the upwards direction. Are we likely to get that? Well, yeah. Yeah, we are. So we're just following this trend line. you know, and as soon as we break the trend line, then we're bearish. So, you know, it'll pull back, might take a little bit, but as soon as we get picked up again, go for it. You know, so if we zoom in, 4 hour, there you go. We might pull back to the 50 and continue up. Then again, we might just pull back a little bit to this one and go. Who knows with these things? Like, they can start moving very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. You know, this is what we're just in. You know, we come up very, very quickly. You know, we've put a lot of distance now between the old range with 5x, you know, and that's what can happen with these things very quickly. Very quickly. You know, well, that's a pretty messy picture at the moment, but we're at the top. You know, we're at the top. It could break up, but, you know, this is the point of high risk. You know, if you're not already in, you know, XLM's still pretty low, VeChain, Zilliqa, they're all good fundamental projects that's still pretty low. I wouldn't recommend buying this right now. Another thing that happened is the catalyst. You know, the parachains opened up. You know, so I don't have Kusama here. Oops. Kusama is Polkadot's canary network. It's and it had a good pump today, but it still hasn't broken out. So there you go. Kusama might be a bit of a better buy. It's still 30% behind Polkadot, you know. But we're still expecting these things to break out higher in their second, third, fourth wave. You know, you got wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, that's what we're expecting in Elliott waves, you know. So, but even still, this had a 20% pump today. It's huge, you know. So if you get in at the right time, you know, down here, this bottom here is a great level. Get in at the right time, whoops, you know, you get that kind of bottom, you can make a quick 20%, you know, even if you sell now, you know, after 10, 15%. That's a lot of money, you know, that's a lot of gains if you got a lot of money in there, I mean. You know, so that's dot in terms of Bitcoin, which we always like to look at. And that just looks like a bull flag, all right? So that's our first sign of it's bull flag pattern. Now this is dot against Bitcoin. This isn't dot against the dollar, which I normally show you guys. So we've got pole, break up, dot could get as far as 31% against Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes sideways, dot can go up 30%, and then people might start to take more profits and stuff. This could take a few days, you know, this could take a few months, but that's what I'm expecting is the next breakout, break up. All right, so that's Mav's birthday today. I took him to the big boing. So this is Poker Markets, you know, Polkadot has a whole ecosystem. This is Poker Markets. It's still at the bottom. It's like Shiba, it's like Super Farm, you know, but, you know, this is a big move. This is a 20% move. So, you know, even though it looks like it's flat, like it's really small, like it's still got a lot of up to go. You know, like, you don't want to buy these things at the top. Because then, like, yeah, you might have 200% to get out of it. The higher up you go, the less gains you get, you know, and then you have to open up the risk. Even just to support, you're losing half your back. You know, you're losing half your money, you know. You know, there's a 60% stop loss, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't recommend having a stop loss there because that was literally the bottom, you know. I'd be buying everything under this top. That's how I'd be playing this. I'd be buying everything under this top. Right now we're halfway. We're in no man's land, all right? Maybe wait for this to get rejected, come back down, all right? Then it's at least safer. You know, but, I mean, by all means, chuck some gambling money in here, you know, you got 25% to the top of the range, and if it breaks out of the range, when's the next kind of resistance? There's not one. You know, we've seen Shiba move so fast in a couple of days. This is what these things are likely to do. You know, there's Poker Starter, another one. Say it just broke out of its high. It's pulling back. It's doing a retest. You know, if we pull back to any of these levels, that'd be a really good entry. you know, because probably come down, bottom out, and then pick up. So how likely is that? Well, we've got a trend line. You know, we can measure the Fibonacci from the previous bottom to the top. We've got the 618, so we've got the 618 to the 50, to the trend line, to the pullback. I mean, these things can just pull back to the 30, you know, like it doesn't matter, but that's our buy zone, and that's how we get it, you know. And then just go chasing pumps because that's foolish. There's 12,000 cryptos, you know, why are we all chasing the pumps? But I thought I'd show you the Bitcoin and the Polkadot because it's doing big things, making big moves. Polkadot's got the moving averages information, and in terms of the Bitcoin, we can kind of see this pump a bit early. And then, this video might run a little bit late. I'm sorry, guys, but I got to show you this. All right, let's get rid of the pattern. That's the pattern that it's doing. This is the trend line, right? This is the trend line. And when did it break? Well, when we couldn't make a higher high, we didn't make a lower low, but then we pushed up and we didn't make a higher high again. So now we've kind of got a resistance line, right? And we break down from that, so we break the support. So the trend's over at this point, all right? So let's get these out of here and zoom in a little bit. All right. So this is a setup. This is how we can make money, guys. This is how we can spot a big pump early, right? This is the trend is up, all right? If we pull back to a trend line, it's a good time to buy until we break the trend. When do we break the trend? That's our first warning signal. We made a lower high. We can check momentum. We're getting divergence, bearish divergence. You know, we didn't make a higher high from this. We're still in positive momentum, but when we come under the 50 and we reject that, that's when we see the bearish momentum. Okay, so we can kind of see momentum giving us an indication, a lower high, as stated here, and then we break the trend line. We even come back up to retest it before breaking our bearish pattern, you know, breaking into our bottom pattern. All right, so we broke bearish. Yeah, we made a W, but we're kind of getting rejected here again. All right, so where are we likely to come back? That's the question next, but that's the setup, right? And this can go on anything. We're on the daily time frame at the moment, but we can literally go on the 4 hour and look at the same thing. So here's our resistance line, right? And it continued, and then what happened? We broke resistance and we come back to test our support. All right, so there's two key areas I want to show you, right? Broke support and rejected it. And then we broke resistance and retested it. All right, this is two setups that we can trade for money. All right, because we can short and we can long on platforms like Bybit, you know. But not only that, this tells you when to get out. You know, we didn't make a higher high. All right, set a stop loss under your support, you know, if you're leverage trading or whatever, you know, and then you can get in again when it bottoms out, and it bottomed out here, you know, so it might not seem like a lot, but that's 5 to 10%, and that is a lot when you're trading leverage. So then we can get in our next long here, bang, 20%. And that, look, this, we can see that on the Polkadot. We made a big green candle, you know. Come over here, same thing. This is Polkadot in terms of the dollar. We've got a trend line, it broke here. Alright, what did we do? We made a W. Broke out of this resistance. And retested it. Yeah. And then we even come up and retest it again. 40%, guys. 38% with leverage. Like, and this is how things set up. Okay? And you got confirmation on the momentum. See, we got the downtrend. We broke it. We retested. We get picked up by some moving averages. Look, there's the 50. There's the 50. You know? So we're not bearish anymore. We're clearly bullish. Guys, pull back to this trend line support, this new one that we're creating, then that would be a good time to buy. Not before that. Alright, it's risky where it is now. It's probably going to pull back 10-15% before the previous top, before a moving average, and before trendline support. Alright, and that's when I'd buy DOT. If you don't already have it. But yeah, now's a good time to sell it for sure. You can buy it back, you know, and can play the accumulation game or the flipping game, whatever you want. Whatever you want. But this is how we analyze the trend. Because the trend and then patterns. And it's pretty easy to tell like what's going to happen next, you know. So my only problem is there's so many hundreds of thousands I don't know which one I want to trade. I want to be in them all. So yeah, that's the daily trend. DOT's breaking out. Poker markets, you know, is a gem. You know, this is one of those 100x moonshots, one of those Shibas that can just pump 300% in a couple of days, you know. And then you just get out and buy it back. You know, and this is Songbird from the other day. Songbird is the Kusama to Polkadot as Songbird will be to Flare. And I showed you my game the other day. Alright, I got it about here and I told you I had orders in all the way down. And I bought all of this. Alright, bought all of this all the way to that wick. And I'm up 20% profits. You know? So I got it here. And I bought all of this. And now I'm sitting in profits. So even though it might feel like scary that the price is going down or whatever, I mean, no one wants to see their money go down. So like the hardest part is being a trader or a hodler. And I always promote hodling. And if you're going to hold this long term, why wouldn't you buy it down here? It's cheap. You know, sell some when it gets up there. You know, you put $100 in down here, take your $100 out up there, and you got $20 to just, and then you do it again. You do it to poker markets, and then you do it to Poker Starter, and then you do it to easier said than done. Quick look at XRP. So juicy. I reckon it's going to pick up a lot. And Ethereum, it might come down a little bit if it breaks this resistance on the RSI. You know, we could see it cool down a little bit, but yeah, who knows? Who knows with Ethereum? You know, there's a lot of people that want it because it does a lot of things, makes you a lot of money. Guys, I've been rambling a lot. That's it for the daily trend today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for putting up with my rambling and all that. Show the love, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, share with your friends and family. Guys, I'm the BiznessPres. Thanks for listening. See you in the next video.